right, hello everybody. It's Uilani from Hibiscus Health and Healing Arts, and I am trying out a new platform that can be used in combination with Facebook Live. So I'm giving it a try here, so don't mind all the little glitches and things as I'm trying to figure out a lot of what this new platform entails. I got two screens here going on, so alrighty. So I thought since I'm testing this out, I'd talk about manifesting. And if you had a chance to read my blog on manifesting for 2021, I kind of talked about what I wanted to focus on. And for this first test video, I thought I'd talk about my experience 2 years ago with manifesting. And so, up to a couple of years ago, I had learned about manifesting from colleagues, mentors, from other people who've talked about how to manifest. There's so many different ways to manifest out there, and so I had gotten to a point where I have a master's degree. I have a master's degree in speech language pathology. I'm a practicing speech language pathologist. Currently I work with the elderly in the nursing home, but I have worked with kids as young as 3 all the way up to, I think the oldest I've ever worked with is 105. And so I've worked with the whole age span there in working with people. And I felt like I was doing pretty good. I was at a good place. My work was going well. I was teaching exercise classes on the side. For me, that was my fun, my way of releasing stress, and having fun with friends. And so everything was going well. And I started my spiritual journey. And so as I was going through my spiritual journey, learning all these different things that I had not really looked into, maybe heard of in passing, maybe in a movie or television shows, things like that. But I started my spiritual journey, and one of these days I'll talk about that a little bit. But this one day came where a really good friend of mine, her name is Nancy Drew, with an I, Nancy, and she had mentioned to me that she was going to take a tour group from here in Washington State to Egypt, and it was going to be one of her last tours there. And so she is a psychic and a healer, and she had mentioned to me that she felt like I needed to be there. And in talking with her, I felt like I had a connection with Egypt. It's one of those things, every time something comes up about Egypt, whether it's books, articles, magazines, TV programs, documentaries, things like that, I was always intrigued with the history of Egypt. And so when she told me about this, she said, you really need to be there. I feel Spirit's telling me you need to be there. And I totally connected with that. But my reality was I don't have the money to go to Egypt. It's a pretty expensive trip. And I thought to myself, I would love to be able to go. I feel like I should be going, but I can't afford it. And I told her at that point, and I think it was around early November, somewhere around there, of 2018, when we had this discussion, somewhere around there. And I had told her, oh, how nice it would be if I could, but I can't afford to. And so it was, sometimes when you think about these things long enough, it starts kind of nagging at you. Maybe nagging is not a good word. It just starts kind of delving into your whole system there. And it got to a point where I was thinking about it day, night, every day. It was always on my mind. Couldn't drop it, even though I knew I couldn't afford it. And it kept bugging me. And I thought to myself, am I felt like I needed to be there. I felt like it was part of my spiritual journey that I needed to be there. But I knew I couldn't afford it. And I have my, I call them my spirit team. They're my ancestors. They're my spirit guides, my master guides. They include the angelic realm. But I have this whole team that supports me every single day. And I do talk to them each day. And this one day, because it was really bugging me, I felt like I was supposed to be there. And that's one of the things. I had this feeling, very strong feeling deep inside that I needed to be there. I'm supposed to be there. But how do I get there? Because I don't have the money to get there. And so this one day I was driving to work. Early in the morning, it was still dark. And it was just in my head. And my spirit team, sometimes they like to communicate to me through music and, music on the radio. And all of these songs were coming up, talking about how I am supposed to follow my dreams and be able to follow through on the things that I really want to do, and that there would always be a way. All these songs were coming up with that theme in mind. And so I just got, I don't know, frustrated is the word. So this one day, I just sat out loud in the car on my way to work. And I said, okay, I know I'm supposed to be there. You're telling me I'm supposed to be there. You're giving me that feeling that in my intuition, I am supposed to be there. If I am supposed to be there, show me the way, because I don't have the money. Show me the way to get there. Provide a way for me. Now, from that one day when I had that conversation in my car, I would say it was within a month. Within the month of having that conversation. I can't exactly remember where during that time, but within that month time frame, my father, who was visiting with us, he likes to come and stay for long stretches of time. He visits me from Hawaii, which is where my hometown is. And so he came up to me and wanted to talk about his will. And so for me, when my husband would want to talk about things like that, I would always kind of shun it away. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it, because I wasn't comfortable talking about my loved ones. What are we going to do if I die conversation? And I didn't want to go there. And so my father, who was not aware of this, started talking about his will. And about, okay, I want you to know, because I want to be sure someone is aware when I pass that this is for you, this is for your sister, and so on and so forth. And I told my dad I didn't want to hear it. If anything, just put it in writing. Don't want to hear it. and he kept saying that he wanted to be sure that we would be taken care of when that time came. And I just started speaking to him. I was inspired to say these words to him, and I told him, Dad, you don't need to worry about me and my husband. I said, you don't have to worry about us. We're going to be fine. If you want, you can give it to my sisters. But he wanted to be fair. He said he wanted to be fair, make sure everybody had their share. And I told him, okay. I said, to me, it would be more meaningful if you took the money that you were going to give to me and we did something together while you're still here, rather than giving it to me after you've gone. Oh, I'm going to get all teary-eyed. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting emotional here. Okay. Oh, Louise, you manifested a trip to Australia. Isn't it amazing when you can manifest a trip? It is so amazing. So, talking about my dad with his with his. Well, I told him I would rather that we do something together with it and have that memory of experiencing it together than if I were to just get it after he passed. So guess what we did? The money that he would have left to me, my dad and I took that trip, that 2.5 week trip to Egypt with my friend Nancy, who arranged everything for us. She traveled with us, and her good friend, her good friend Hadam, he is the best guide, best tour guide in Egypt. He knows everyone. To me, it seems like he knew everyone in every single town that we were in. He knew the ins, the outs, the guides, everybody that could make our trip possible. And he also took us. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Can't remember the name of the boats. They have these boats that sail down the Nile. Starts with a D. That's gonna bug me now. But these boats on the lower deck, below deck, are all the rooms. They have these rooms where you can spend the night in these rooms with these picture windows that when you look out, the water line of the Nile is just below that window frame, and you are at that level looking out on the Nile. And we spent several days on that boat sailing down the Nile and stopping along the way at different towns to visit the different Egyptian temples and things. And it was an absolutely fabulous trip. And it made me realize that part of that secret, it shouldn't really be a secret, but I felt like it was like an eye-opener for me, because I had not really thought about it before then, that the really big clue into manifesting is you need to wholeheartedly believe that it is your reality. You have to believe that it's already here. You have to believe that it is your present tense. We tend to think with, I wish I had, I'm going to get, everything is either past or future. Don't think about it being here and now. The manifesting, that is the big key, is knowing that that thing that you want is already part of your present life. And that's how I felt when it came to the trip in Egypt. Is I knew that I was supposed to be there, and I felt like it was already a part of me. I felt like it was already here. And so I knew that it needed to happen, and I asked my spirit team, if this is supposed to be, show me the way. And boom, they presented that way where not just me, but me and my father got to experience that trip to Egypt together. And it was such a phenomenal trip. Ever since then, that has been like the big thing for me, is manifesting. And I admit that, I'm only human. Sometimes I might take a step back, and I have to kind of remind myself to push forward, that if I want to manifest something, I need to think in the present time. I think I have to have that level of belief that I had with my trip to Egypt, that it can be, that it is, and that it is mine now, and things. So love talking about manifestation and things. So when it comes to you and your manifesting, you need to believe that it is here and now. It is your present time, and you have to believe it with your heart. For me, I felt it. I lived it every single day. It would not leave my mind or my heart. It was there all the time with me. which is why I couldn't accept that it wouldn't happen. It got to the point where I said, well, show me how to get there because I know I'm supposed to be there and things. So that is my story on how I got the chance to go to Egypt for 2.5 weeks for free. I didn't have to pay for a hotel, boat, or excuse me. I think the only thing I had to pay for were the tips. Got to tip the driver, tip people along the way. You actually have to tip to go to the public restroom. That's a whole nother story there. But yes, had to tip. So that was the one area I had to make sure I covered the cost of. That and the occasional meal outside of our package plan and things. So if you ever get a chance to go to Egypt, you have to look up Hatem Ali. I had messaged my friend Nancy and told her that we had just hit that 2-year anniversary since our trip yesterday, and it was so amazing. She was like, we should do it again. I was like, I would love to do it again. Oh, I feel like I only scratched the surface with what I saw while I was there, and so many hieroglyphics, so many beautiful structures there. I have this one image. I took a picture of this hieroglyph. Is that a hieroglyph? Hieroglyphics? I got this picture of a hieroglyph that was taken inside of one of the temples that we visited. And I love that image because it shows how the Egyptians practiced energy healing. I'm going to have to post that picture on the page here a little later. I absolutely love it. It's an actual image of them doing energy healing work. And so I know a lot of what the Egyptians did a long time ago. There is so much about their history and culture that has so much to do with our spiritual journey. They were already doing it then. That's what makes learning about history so amazing. But yes, so Hatem Ali, in fact, my friend told me, is actually currently, he's just starting back to touring in Egypt and is currently taking, at this point in time, another father-daughter on their dream trip in Egypt, even as we speak. And I thought that was just amazing and things. And so, manifestation, it can happen. You have to believe it. You have to know it in your heart and in your soul that it is already here. All right? So, one of these days I should talk a little bit more about that. I can talk about manifestation forever. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Louise. It was such a special trip. Such a special trip for both my dad and myself. And we experienced so many wonderful spiritual events on that trip. Nancy made sure that we didn't approach this trip from the tourist aspect. We got to see a lot of the major sites, but we approached every single site from the spiritual aspect. And so all of our guides, knowing this, showed us all the hieroglyphics and the spiritual meaning behind everything that we were shown there. The rooms that we could enter into to experience the energy that was there, getting to see the statues, the original statues. Well, maybe we're not say too much about that part. I'll explain that later. Anyway, but we got to go to places that not everyone had a chance to go and see. Even had a chance to see the temple where the original flower of life is located. And things. It was just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if you ever have a chance, when things open up and it is safe to travel again, if you have that chance to go to Egypt, there is just so much to experience, so much to see, and the people are just absolutely lovely. They are so friendly and so wonderful. I think I still have some of them on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, as friends, and being able to stay in contact with them has been absolutely a dream. Alrighty, so thank you so much. Again, this was my first live stream using this particular platform. So hopefully everything sounded smoothly there. This is my test run and things. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a fabulous day, fabulous weekend, and enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you later. Oh, Louise, I don't doubt it. When I got to Edfu, Egypt, I felt like I was there before. And I even mentioned that to my friend, and she said, yeah, that was your past life. You were there in Edfu. So I totally believe it. I totally believe it. I tell you, Egypt has its own magic. It's got its own magic, and it is so special. We've got to chat more about that next time. I'll see y'all. Bye.